All right, what's up, gents? I'm going to try to keep this conversation short, so listen up, okay? I'm not going to try to talk too fast, although at times I will. So here's the deal. I want to touch on a couple things here. I don't want to turn this rant into too long of one. I'm already talking about this rant being long, so here we go. Let's try to get this kicked out here because I value my time, and time is the most valuable currency. All right, so let's go to talk about my performance real quick with the squat, and just a couple things I want to touch on. And then I'll touch on, you know, the Zercher carryover, and then also my OHP, why it's doing well, and so forth, and all my lifts in general. So let's go ahead and clear this out of the way. So why are my lifts going up right now? So one, the obvious one would be I'm focusing on performance again. What I mean by performance, I'm focusing on, you know, lifting as heavy as I possibly can with the heaviest intensity, right? So I'm focusing on getting those type 2X muscle fibers firing, right? That's going to come into play when I start talking about the OHP here in a moment. Let's go talk about the 470-pound squat. Obviously, that thing's high, right? That thing's high. It's solid 2 inches higher, whatever it may be. I'm not going to count it for the books, but it was fun. And, you know, I pulled out of nowhere. I haven't done any squats, so, you know, just parallel depth or whatever it may be. Usually when I squat, it's always ATG pause. Now, I want to touch on why I like ATG pause. I like ATG pause because, for those of you who don't know, my favorite lift is the deadlift. Deadlift is my favorite lift. So, ATG pause, I've noticed, in my opinion, have a direct carryover, more of a direct carryover to your deadlift, and they help a lot with that. There's something about having the brace really hard out of the hole, and you feel it a lot more in your lower back and the whole posterior chain, especially more along the glutes and the hamstrings than just the mid part and lower back. And then also your upper back has to brace hard. Just the whole posterior chain gets hit harder. And the way I train my ATG pause squats, I always do heavy singles, okay? And I do it Bulgarian. And then, obviously, I don't go, like, super crazy heavy with it every time. It'll be, like, 97%. I know you're going 97%. Yeah, like, legit 97% of my max, or 95%. I'll hit it for multiple singles, 2 or 3 singles. And eventually, I'll get to a point where I'll fail, or I'll hit one that's super grindy. I hit one that was super grindy. It was my first time doing squats in a while. I was 405, okay? And then I started my Zercher cycle. But before that, just want to go ahead and put that out. My best ATG pause is 440, beltless, no wraps, none of that garbage. But yeah, I think there's a carryover when it comes to that. I also think that's why I'm kind of performing, I would say, okay on the Zercher. I think I'm doing pretty good for my, you know, my raw strength, if you will. With the Zercher, I think I'm performing pretty well on it because I'm good at bracing. Okay, I would say I'm a solid lifter when it comes to bracing. So let's go ahead and talk about the Zercher carryover. What carryover have I seen? So I've only done this lift for about a week. Strength is absolutely skyrocketing. And the boogs, your secret's out. I know why you're able to continue to go up every time. It's not because you're just the mindset. It's not that. It's because these lifts, they're so awkward. The amount of, you know, just having to go ahead and get used to the movement pattern. For those of you guys who study kinesiology and, you know, athletes and just know the way things work, especially when you're to a foreign movement, like an odd lift like this, it's just super odd. It's going to take a while for your body to adjust, but once it does adjust, there'll be a quick adjustment period. Eventually get that period like I'm at right now, where the gains become harder. But I'm skyrocketed on strength. I went from, 405 all the way up to, 485. I went from 505 the other day and absolutely just destroyed myself. Shouldn't have done that. Should have dropped the weight, grinded for like 2 seconds on it. But anyways, my weak point on it, I want to touch on this here. My weak point on it was my upper back. The upper back and core strength is huge when doing these, especially what I'm doing. What I'm doing is not like a full Zercher. I'm just doing it from pins, right? I know you guys can't see the best camera angle when I'm doing these, but it's sitting at the bottom of my kneecap, okay? That's where the bar is. So I can't really put myself in the best position. I know Chuck's comment on my channel. He's like, yeah, man, you're choosing a position. Yeah, I'm choosing my position regarding, like, you know, width of where my feet are. But as far as, the bar is still out in front of my knees. It's still out in front of my knees type deal. In order to get the movement lift going, you have to have your upper back super tight, and core's got to brace really hard. Otherwise, you're not going to get the lift. When I film my 505, yeah, I lifted off the bar, the pins, but I wasn't able to get it closer to my body where I'd have my hamstrings, my quads kick in, and then my glutes to finish off type of deal. And then for those of you who've seen my lifts so far with these, you know, it gets moving. Once it gets moving and you get it to the closer to your body, it's game over. It's easy from there. I haven't had an issue with that. For those of you who've seen me deadlift, my lockouts are usually one of my strong points. So the finish game, if you will, I'm good at that. Now, what I've noticed is in my back is actually getting kind of taxed. I've heard Bugenhagen talk about this with these Zerchers. The back, I feel like her hypertrophy back there is strange. So it definitely works the upper back, and I think that's kind of been what's kind of kickstarted my OHP here, because you need upper back tightness. I feel like I feels good in my upper back right now. It feels really good. So I feel like that's why it's helping my OHP really kick off at this moment. But anyways, with my OHP, I want to touch on a couple things here. This strength isn't like brand new strength. I've had strength in my OHP before. I've OHP 235 before. I did 155 for 15 before. This is before I did my cut, before winter started. And for those of you who don't know, I was going for a 250-pound OHP. So it's not like this OHP is just like brand new strength out of the middle of nowhere. It's all just muscle memory and, getting those type 2X muscle fibers firing again, right? Your merits as a natural never go away. They never do. That's the one cool thing about staying natural. Your merits will always be there. And if you don't focus on a certain aspect, whether it be focusing on high intensity lifting, if you go back to it, it's going to be there. It's going to pop right back into there. But yeah, I want to focus on bar speed. Bar speed is huge. And then for those of you who are more seasoned lifters and can I can tell. When I got onto the bar today, I warmed up with just the bar, the 45 pounds. I can tell if I'm going to lift heavy just based on my bar speed. Bar speed is huge, huge, huge. I was watching some younger guy on YouTube. I forget his name. It'll come to me in a moment, or if it doesn't come, whatever it may be. He did 275 for 8. He's kind of new to the community. Really strong kid on the bench and pressing. He's got good bar speed. He does. When he moves the bar, it's fast. So focus on bar speed, especially if you move into a performance phase in any type of pressing. That'll take you to the next level, 100%. I know it's kind of cliche. People have probably said it a million times. Just sometimes I feel like as lifters, we forget bar speed's huge. Anything else? That's pretty much it. I don't want to ramble forever. I've already rambled forever. So if you stayed around for this long, then cool. But yeah, those are my thoughts on a couple things. Peace, bro.